Maybe in 20 years, people will be saying, I'd get in a time machine and go back to 2026 and take in the NFL draft in Pittsburgh. Or maybe not. It doesn't really, apart from work, the draft being held here in 2026 doesn't do much for me. It'll be fun. I'm sure we'll broadcast from down there, and they're going to have it at Stage AE/Acrisure Stadium, and it's going to be the whole North Shore. It's going to be a cluster, you know what. From a work standpoint, cool. I don't know that it's good for the economy. Mm-hmm. It's good for Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying you would turn it down. I'm happy they pushed for it. It'll be cool that people are going to get to see Pittsburgh for what it is, which is really a football mecca. But me personally, I'd rather watch it on TV.
Yeah.
What are you gleaning? What is the experience like being down there? And does it outweigh me putting my feet up on the couch and having a couple of pops and being able to go to the bathroom when I want to and order a pizza and just be able to relax and then go to bed whenever the thing's over?
Yeah, I could take it or leave it. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Like, I love it for the city. And I tell that story, or I told that story the one time, and I can't wait for this reaction for people who haven't been here that are going to travel to see their team pick, is whenever you're coming down the highway 376 and you're like, where is downtown at? And you're like, oh, there's a tunnel. It says Fort Pitt on it. Like, where are we going? And then whenever you get out of that tunnel and then that city's right in front of you and that big yellow bridge, the Fort Pitt Bridge, you're going across it, and you start looking to your left, and then you see a baseball lights, and then you look a little bit further to your left, and then you see Acrisure Stadium, and you're like, oh. And then you see all the rivers and how they can join. Like, oh, like a bunch of my teammates whenever played for different teams, that the first time that they went through that tunnel, they're like, oh, I get it now. I get the allure. I get the atmosphere and why everybody talks about Pittsburgh being Pittsburgh. You get Pittsburgh when as soon as you cross, as soon as you hit daylight out of that tunnel, that's Pittsburgh. And you feel it.
People are going to understand that we're not this smoky steel town anymore.
Right.
You still got the blue-collar nature of Pittsburgh, but this is a very livable place. It's inexpensive comparatively if you compare it to other places around the country. It's a great place to live. We love Pittsburgh. You don't know what you're going to get weather-wise in late April either.
Right.
That could be nasty, which might sour some people onto Pittsburgh. I do wonder if there will be – this might be really dumb. I wonder if there will be more people who attend that are Steelers fans, or if it's going to be more people that come. Because they said there's going to be 300 to 350,000 added people here.
I think this gives the Steelers fans that live in Mexico, that live in California, that live in Seattle, that live in Texas, that live in Arizona. I mean, because Steelers fans are probably the best traveling fans up there in all sports, right? This gives them that opportunity to, hey, I've never been to Pittsburgh, or the last time I was in Pittsburgh was 25 years ago, to come back to Pittsburgh and to see what it's like now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That gives them a reason to come back outside of just going to a game or traveling to a game.
That's a really good point.
So I think there'll be more Steeler fans than anything, but so Steeler fans not from here.
Yeah, you're going to get those 350,000 people that Rich Fitzgerald was talking about the other day. A lot of them are going to be transplanted Pittsburgh fans that are coming back to, as we said, Mecca. That's a really good point by you. Okay. We've asked for your thoughts on the draft being here in 2026 at 412-928-9370. We're going to get to those calls in a moment. Someone tweets in, John tweets in, forget sporting events, give me Woodstock if I'm getting in the time machine.
I was going to lean that direction too. I was going to lean that direction. Like, and especially like, our parents, probably stuff like that, though they would probably want to go back to that.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't mind, if I was 22 years old.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 33-year-old Crowley doesn't want to go to Woodstock.
No, that's too much. Claustrophobic. I don't want to be around that many people, but if I was 22,
the party scene.
Wouldn't mind it.
Texter here, if I could go back and watch a sporting event, I'd want to see the Miracle on Ice game.
Huh.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. You'd also be smack dab in the middle of the Cold War, and you'd be afraid. Although you'd know the outcome and everything was fine. 412-928-9370, JT in Penn Hills. What's up?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How you doing?
Good.
Well, 3 quick reasons why I wouldn't want to go to this. Number one, I'm 55, and I enjoy college because I don't know the weather anymore. Arthritis plays on you. But the number one reason is we know how hard it is getting to a Steeler game with only 250-some thousand people in the stadium. That's 300,000 people trying to get to the stadium, and 250,000 of them don't know where they're going. They're looking at their phones like, oh, my GPS is messed up. So that's number one. Number two is if you have to go to the bathroom, you're screwed.
Yes.
You're in that, and that not that bad if you have to do number one, but if you have to take a deuce, you're really screwed. And like I said, number three, I'm 55 years old. I'd rather watch it from my couch while I watch my grandson playing. The main reason why I would go is my nephew plays for Notre Dame. He's a freshman receiver, Micah Gilbert, and if he can go in that draft and he's in the top 10 or 15 and he's going to be there, I would definitely be there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Thank you for the call, JT, and best of luck.
I think a lot of people probably want to go to maybe see some former or current players too, see who you cross paths with, because they know that a lot of people and a lot of celebrity-ish athletes will be there in some type of capacity, whether they're doing, radio stuff or whatever, interviews, like, and, even making the call on the stage. And I think a lot of people are like, man, maybe I'll cross paths with Eli Manning or something.
Yeah.
Or Peyton Manning.
Is that it? Just the Mannings?
I guess.
If you get one, you're probably getting the other.
But I feel like, I feel like former Steelers,
They're around anyway. Yeah.
I feel like people see them all the time.
Yeah.
Like Troy Polamalu's, I've seen pictures of him in the last 2 weeks. I've seen 10 different pictures with 10 different people.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's he doing? He's just hanging out at Whole Foods, taking pictures.
I think he was at that Burger King on the South Side.
Yeah, he was.
Which is where I actually think they should hold the NFL draft coming up in 2026. Here's something that I know is going to happen. Steelers fans are going to show out because we have so much city pride that we're going to want it to be a spectacle. We're going to want to do it better than Detroit did it.
Yes.
Or better than Cleveland did it. And Cleveland kind of got reamed on the thing because they had to do it during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to want to show out. Green Bay is going to do it in 2025. And so we're going to want to outdo Green Bay. And how are you going to do it in Green Bay? They should do it at Lambeau. They might be. I don't know.
There's nowhere else to do it.
Yeah, I didn't look into it.
There's nothing out there.
It's basically like Uniontown, just with Lambeau Field right in the middle of it.
Yes.